The practice of surrender. How to let go and awaken fully. A sacred guide to the inner mechanics of true release. Opening transmission. Surrender is not a moment. It is a practice. Not a breakdown, but a quiet opening. It is not giving up. It is giving in. Not to the world, but to something deeper than it. When the heart learns how to bow, when the breath learns how to soften, when the mind learns how to loosen its grip on needing to know, the body begins to float in awareness like a leaf resting on a still pond. In today's sacred continuation, we turn to the practice of surrender, the real steps, the how, the inner mechanics of letting go, not once, but again and again, until nothing remains but awareness itself. 1. Begin where you cling most. The true practice of surrender doesn't begin with chanting or sitting still. It begins in the moment where something in you refuses to let go. That thought you keep rehearsing. That person you keep trying to fix. That fear you keep feeding with, what if? To practice surrender means to feel where the grip is tightest and pause there. Not to force it open, but to become aware of the tension, of the self holding on, and to stay there long enough for it to loosen on its own. This is not spiritual bypassing. This is not positive thinking. This is reverent stillness at the doorway of your own resistance. 2. The breath as a bridge. The breath is the most immediate doorway into surrender. Every inhale is a gesture of receiving. Every exhale is a practice of release. To deepen surrender, shift your awareness to the out-breath. Let it lengthen slightly. Let it fall rather than be pushed. Feel it dissolve out of your chest and into space. Now observe the moment after the breath empties. There is a sacred stillness there, a pause before life begins again. This is the hidden cradle of surrender. Practice resting awareness in this pause, over and over. Eventually, you will find that the pause begins to carry you, and the breath becomes an offering, not a survival mechanism. 3. Unclench the mind. The mind does not surrender by being silenced. It surrenders by being seen. Each time a thought comes, label it gently, holding, and then return to your awareness. You do not have to believe every thought to feel safe. You do not have to solve every problem to be free. You do not have to plan every outcome to be whole. This is not laziness. It is humility. To practice surrender is to admit, I do not know what comes next, but I trust the silence that carries me. 4. Bowing as an inner posture. Surrender is a gesture of the subtle body. The spine doesn't have to move. The body doesn't have to prostrate. But the inner being begins to bow. You can practice this in seated meditation. Imagine the center of your being slowly bowing, not to a person, not to a god, but to that which is, to life itself. This inner bow softens the identity, and from that softness, deeper insight arises. Eventually, you will feel the difference. Tension is vertical, surrender is horizontal. Ego rises, awareness bows. 5. Use this mantra, let it be enough. You don't need a long Sanskrit mantra. You need a phrase that returns you to release. Try whispering in the silence, let it be enough. Let this moment be enough. Let this breath be enough. Let this silence be enough. Repeat it not to affirm, but to allow. To drop the struggle for more and return to the simplicity of presence. This is the mantra of the one who no longer fights with the now. This is the doorway to peace. 6. The body also clings. Let it rest. Don't forget, the body has its own story of control. The jaw clenches, the shoulders guard, the belly tightens, the spine braces. To surrender physically, lie on the ground. Place your hands on your heart or your belly. Feel the pull of gravity. Let yourself be held by the earth. This posture says to your whole being, you don't have to carry everything. And slowly, layer by layer, the body begins to trust. 7. Devotion without desperation. Many approach surrender like a last resort. But true surrender is not a scream. It is a song. Let your practice be devotional, not begging, not bargaining, but an offering of control. If you chant, chant softly. If you pray, pray without agenda. If you sit, sit as if you've already been received. This is the path of the mystic, not one who asks for miracles, but one who becomes the field where miracles are no longer needed. 8. Trust what follows the letting go. The ego will ask, if I let go, what happens next? And the answer must always be, you will see. Surrender is the teacher that takes you beyond maps. It doesn't promise safety. It reveals reality. And here's the truth. What comes after surrender may not look like bliss. It may be stillness. It may be tears. It may be nothing. But nothing is sacred. It is where the old self has died and the soul begins to remember. 9. Practice every day in small ways. Don't wait for life to break you before you release. Surrender is not just for deathbeds and heartbreak. It is for coffee lines and inboxes and children screaming. Practice letting go of the need to win the argument. Let go of needing the day to go perfectly. Let go of trying to impress the world. Even in these small ways, surrender is the seed of awakening. Water it daily, and it will grow roots into eternity. 10. When you've let go again. Finally, remember, the ego has layers, and so surrender is not a one-time act. It is a rhythm, a wave, a spiral. Let go. Then let go of letting go. Then surrender even the idea of surrendering, until all that remains is awareness itself. Spacious, silent, still, mystical reflection. To surrender is not to fall. It is to dissolve into the truth of what already is. Beyond your thoughts, beyond your breath, beyond your grasp, there is a vast presence that holds everything. You don't have to climb to it. You only have to soften into it. Let surrender be your doorway. Let this path carry you inward, and let the silence behind it all reveal your true nature. If this helped you breathe a little deeper, subscribe for more sacred transmissions. And if you feel called to help these offerings reach more hearts, becoming a channel member helps sustain the unfolding of this sacred work around the world. In our next episode, we turn to the mystical powers hidden in the Tripura Rahasya, a sacred look into the source of psychic perception and subtle vision.